Don't know whether you know what these are. They're beading rods. I think, so I believe. I don't do beading, but I'm going to fuse these up into a part sheet that I'm going to use later on in another project. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff, and excuse my croaky voice. I'm still struggling with the tail end of COVID. Can't shake this thing, unfortunately, so I apologise if I cough at all during this. I've had these, as I said, I've had these a long, when I say a long time, I mean years. These beading rods were part of a lot of glass that I purchased very early when I started working with glass. Obviously I don't do beading, not really interested in do beading, so these have sat around. They're about 5mm thick, and I've decided to use them, and I'm going to use them as a part sheet in a project that I'll do a video on a bit later. Now, just to let you know, these are Bullseye 90 beading rods. Everything I use is pretty much Bullseye 90. So anything you, any schedule I give you, make sure that you adjust it for the COE you're using, and obviously for your kiln as well. Stay safe, wear your masks where necessary, and your eye protection. Don't want any glass in the eyes. If this is of use, please press that like button, turn on the notifications, and subscribe obviously, and share it around to your friends. So let's get into it. I'll show you a little bit better, and I'll show you how I'm going to turn them into a part sheet, a couple of part sheets actually. Okay, here we are. These are the beading rods. I believe they're beading rods because they say bead making rods. So obviously they're beading rods. I've never used anything like this before, so yeah, it's a bit of well, no, I shouldn't say useless, but I've had them so long that I really need to use them in something. And I thought, well, I'll make a part sheet out of them and then make a project out of that. So I do have something in mind. I have limited colours. They're pretty much all the colours I have. So yeah, I don't have a lot of choice in the design, but they're not too bad. So this is the pattern I'm going to use here. I'll set these all up in this pattern. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse them down onto 3mm glass, 3mm transparent here. Now I know somebody's going to say, well, that's 5mm and that's 3mm, that's 8mm. It's not 6mm. Well, they're round. So I fully expect that by the time these things fuse down onto that 3mm, I'm going to be left with something that's about 6mm thick. Which will be great for the other project because obviously it's going to be 6mm thick as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut strips of clear here, wide enough to put that pattern on. I'm going to dam it all up, put it in the kiln, and fuse them together. So that's pretty much all I'm doing at the moment. That is pretty much the width that I can do in the kiln. I can't do any more than that, so I'm going to cut these, and I may have a couple of other smaller pieces because I want to use them all up and get as much as I can for that project. So that's the idea. I've never cut one of these before, so that's going to be interesting as well. How will you cut that? I'm assuming I'm just going to score it a little bit and snap it, and we'll see how well it snaps, whether it snaps clean or we get some nasty ends to it. Wish me luck. By the way, I forgot to tell you the colours. They're transparent light green. That's a transparent, I think that's the royal blue. That one there is, so I think that's sunflower yellow. Then we've got, no, it's not Egyptian blue. I think that's, I don't know what that is anyway. Doesn't really matter. Obviously that's opal white. So give you some idea of the colours involved here. Okay, by the way, if you're wondering why I think these are all compatible, well, I know they're all bullseye, and they're beading rods, so obviously in beading they mix colours together. So I'm going to make a logical deduction that all of these are compatible, but we don't really know, but we're just going to go with it anyway. So I'm just going to set this to 30 centimetres, which is what my sheet of glass is. It's 30 centimetres long. Just move that a bit. And let's see how this scores and snaps. So I'm going to use this little thing here. See the score. I can't even see the score. There it is. Well, that's all right. So I'm going to go through and score and snap all these at 30 centimetres. Can't see that one. Now I've worked out that the width of these in the pattern that I've got is 40 millimetres, so I've got to cut myself a couple of 40 millimetre strips of this. Excuse me. So I've just cut up some thin fire paper to go on the bottom, and as you can see, I've cut all of the rods. I'll go a bit slow so you don't get sick. And now I'm just going to cut up some small strips. Oh, it's a bit of strobing, sorry about that. This is bullseye thin fire paper, and it has a printed side and a plain side. Printed side goes on the shelf, plain side goes in contact with the glass. So just go and set these up. Probably need a few more. Okay, I have cleaned everything. The 3mm pieces of clear on the bottom, I've cleaned all those up. And I've cleaned all the bead making rods. Some of those took a bit of time to clean because they had some pretty stubborn glue on them, and it didn't want to dissolve as well as I thought it would. And I used a couple of different things like terps and that, but it didn't want to dissolve, so it took a little bit of elbow grease to get all of the glue left from those labels that you've seen earlier on. But everything's cleaned up now. I have got thin fire on the bottom underneath this, and I've got thin strips of thin fire up against the dams, so nothing should stick. You can probably see that that's the ends of these end pieces that come off of the long ones. So I've lined them up as best I could. I don't expect that they'll join perfectly, but
hopefully it'll give me enough for the project I have in mind. So now we're going to put this in the kiln for a full fuse, and we'll see tomorrow just how it went. Okay, it's the next morning. I just want to show you the inside of the kiln. You can see everything is fused together. I'll take them out shortly and give you a closer look. Okay, this is the finish part sheet, part bar, you call it. They look good. They've all fused up nicely. And you can see there's some transparency there. Not much, because most of it was opal and the blue is transparent. Very hard to see though. Very happy with that. It's all worked out well. This piece here, which is made up of shorter pieces, we got a join right there. When I cut these, I'll just have to avoid those as well, and obviously the ends too, because they're not perfect. But I'm very happy with that. Now, why are these so good? Well, here's the surprise. If you look at the back of it, you get, oh, I'm not going to be able to see, you're not going to be able to show you that, I don't think. There's a 3D effect because of the curve of the rods. They have all curved and left that 3D effect in the bottom of it there. Very hard to see on the camera, but you can see it easily in person. That's a nice finish. Excuse me for rambling. Well, actually, that'll give you an idea there. You can see where those two have joined. You get that bit of a 3D sort of effect. So from the back, they look quite good. That's it. Next one to do with this, or the next video to do with this, will be the piece that I'm going to use these in. And I'm not going to tell you much about it. It'll all be in the next video. Right. I hope you found that interesting. I certainly did. It was a good exercise. The really interesting bit is going to be when I make that other piece, using those as part sheets. But just in itself, that was an interesting exercise. The pillowing on the back, which I was trying to show you, I don't know whether it worked too well, is a bonus, and that will add an extra dimension to the piece I'm thinking of doing. So I know that wasn't a terribly complex video, or technique I should say, but hopefully it helped you in some sort of way. If you got any questions, please put them in the comments and I will answer them. That's not a problem. And if you liked the video, or at least you'd like to see more videos of mine, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. And if you're interested, think about becoming a member. That would help support this channel a great deal, and I'd be very appreciative. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, up here we got a example of member-only videos. Down the bottom down here, a subscribe button and a video just for you. And until the next time, I'll say bye for now.